So I want to give you guys the quick overview on who we are. We are the Geekset podcast, also known as just regular Geekset. We call ourselves the only place that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. We've been podcasting for 5 years, but within that 5 years, we've been doing interviews with people, just really exploring their geeky side. We've been covering conventions. We've been offering, free photos at these conventions. We've been cosplaying. And we've been doing a whole lot within this culture to push and amplify Blerd culture. So it became our mission to kind of continue that and do it at a higher level. So with me, I am young Deuces, one of the co-founders of the Geekset. And where I specialize in is, like I said, I do a lot of the interviews, we do podcasts. I'm most of the people, I'm like one of the faces.
He's a figurehead. I don't know why he don't want to say it. He's the lead singer, fam. He's the David Ruffin of the
David Ruffin. So I'm the vocal piece. I'm the one that's going to do a lot of the talking and everything like that. But that's who I am within this collective. I'm gonna throw it to Bacardi.
Bacardi, okay. Well, I'm Bacardi, or I go by Bacardi Sensei now, as the man's gotten a little bit older. But don't do that, bro. Yes, sir. But so yeah, I'm also a co-founder of Geekset. I started branching off into doing more of our merch and things of that nature. So from there, I also created a brand which is pretty much called Geeked. That pretty much is our flagship clothing line for Geekset. Do what you love what you do. It's like the slogan, meaning it's really a creative kind of clothing line about pretty much stepping out on your own and doing the thing that you really want to do with your life and enjoying it, actually taking any of the hardships that come with it because you're actually on that same path of doing something that you love doing. I actually started producing another show based off of my clothing line, the Geek Do What You Love. And I'm where I interview a couple of people who are pretty much making that leap into their creative passions. It starts out first with me and Geekset, of course. I'm also going to be interviewing one of my close friends and also part of Geekset, Marcus King. And so stay tuned for that.
Yeah. And then let's throw it on to Didge.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Didge. I am the audio video, specialist for Geekset.
The lights, camera,
action, everything that you see from our visual to our background to the lighting, all of us. This is me. So please, if you have some questions about that, or if you have some hey, I think this will look dope for that audio. I'm always looking for ways to make us look better because this is, as much as Deuces is the face, this is the camera that sees the face.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we all work together. You know what I'm saying? Didge makes Deuces look good, and I dress some. You know what I'm saying? You got to have one person in the group that you can just put all the talent on. You know what I'm saying? To shine. So that's how we work as a unit.
Yeah. So what the reason why we got into this blurred space, nerd space, and one of the reasons why I love what we're doing and what we want to present to you guys, and hopefully we can gain your trust to do so, is we realize that everybody has a blurred journey, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, sometimes they suppress it because, it starts off as a kid. You start loving things like, anime, you start loving
comic books,
video games. And then as you grow, you feel like you have to grow out of it.
Because you're supposed to get older, you're supposed to become an adult. And you're supposed to do the 9-to-5 thing. I guess, like I said, the real adult.
To let go of childish dreams.
But when we have these conversations on the podcast, we realize that we still love it. And then as we started having conversations with everybody else, we start realizing you still have that in you. Let's embrace that. So with my personal Blerd journey, and I wanted to give us a moment just to kind of talk about our personal journey. I've always dibbled and dabbled in hip hop. Dibbled and dabbled. I can't say dibbled and dabbled.
It's just a funny word.
But in hip hop culture,
talk,
right? In hip hop culture, right? And so those who know, hip hop culture has this facade. It's this, you got to be cooler than the most. You got to be this and everything like that. And so though I love this nerd culture, I never really embraced it heavily like that, or at least put it out there. And, you have your side groups of people that you talk to about it, but it wasn't one of those things that I talked to the world. But as I grew into my own and, I wasn't, everybody goes to that moment as a kid where you want to be a follower of the pack, you want to be a part of the group. When I started coming into my own, I said, I'm going to talk about what I love myself, right?
Right.
And change that narrative on what Hollywood presented us as. And I started doing that. And when I found my tribe, I felt like, there's more people like me that can talk like that. And so though I didn't go through that quote unquote oh, I got bullied for being a nerd. It was just one of those things that I just didn't talk about more enough because I felt like it wasn't cool enough.
Right. You didn't find the spaces.
Yeah. So that was kind of like my journey to getting here. I want to know.
Before that, I do want to make sure, because I do see we have some questions coming in, and just in case you didn't hear us at the top, we are saving them all to the end. Please keep adding them. We're going to definitely go through all of them.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure that you are aware that we're not ignoring your questions.
Yeah.
Right.
We got you. All right.
You see Didge bending his neck over there. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to keep everything in check.
He's our personal moderator right now.
This is our first time doing this, so you got to work all the way through with us. You said,
yeah. So, Bacardi, what about your personal journey?
I mean, I feel like mine is pretty simple to everybody. Like, I didn't really get bullied, I will say, but I definitely kept a lot of my enjoyment for anime. Even if like I said, let me go back, because when I was actually a child, like, I was that kid with my buddies that utilized a lot of the cartoon slang and just that over the top action.
Oh yeah,
over the top.
Yeah,
I was like, so I was the awkward kid with my friends that they didn't think I was cool because I really enjoyed using the slang that I watched from TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was called radical.
Radical is like, I can understand that a little. Cowabunga is a wild term to be.
Hey, when you trying to set it up, like when you trying to set it up,
I just imagine a party in school, you know what I'm saying? And then like he answered a question, he was like, cowabunga.
That's a wild, no matter what, that's a wild term.
See, that's what you try to. It was a word though. It was a word on TV, and I used it. But I mean, so I came from I came from being around a set of friends that wasn't in that world. So I was kind of to myself a lot. I did have one close friend that was part of the group that we secretly, you know what I'm saying, knew and taught, you know what I'm saying, and he grew to be a toy maker of himself, you know, things of that nature. But for me, it was just the fact of like I said, you just really won't talk about it to anybody.
Yeah.
And it was like for me, it really came from podcasting, like starting a podcast with you guys, because I wasn't speaking about it to anybody until I got onto a podcast to talk about it.
Right. You got to be open.
Yeah. So you got, but I also realized that the more I started doing it, you start getting those people, like, you know, friends that I've known for years are now DMing me or texting me and asking me those questions because like I opened the door being like, this is actually cool to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you love that though?
Yeah.
Like the people who didn't necessarily talk about it beforehand, they finally turn over and it's like, okay, hey, all right. So I've seen Attack on Titan. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, like I said, I'm an older guy. So like for me, I always like what we talked about earlier, like getting into that realm of like knowing that you got to get rid of that childhoodness of you. Like I'm 41. So I really did have that moment in life where it's like, no, fam, you're not supposed to be on that. Like you're not, and having people in your life pretty much telling you that you're not supposed to be on that. So once I was able to kind of break away from those kind of people that was in my life and really got around people who were like, no, we still actually enjoy talking about this stuff, and there's actually room to talk about it, you just become more comfortable in your own skin. So,
all right. So, Didge, what about you?
My journey is drastically different from both of theirs.
This is the youngest member of the crew.
One, I'm the youngest member. And two, I found my friend group early who we were those kids already in high school where we were doing everything else, but we were very vocal about like, yo, I'm about to go play Naruto Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to we are playing the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm game. Yeah, we may go to these house parties or whatever.
Yep.
But hey, if ain't nothing going on tonight, yes, let y'all know this is what we're doing. Some nights we might not feel like going to the party because we do want to go play this, whatever.
Yeah.
So my journey,
Naruto running.
No, we weren't going that crazy.
Y'all were going that
crazy. No, we weren't going that crazy. But
in the trenches there.
We found my friend grouks early who we all knew we had those interests, and we were all very vocal about, look, I am I'm a multifaceted person.
Mm-hmm.
I can do X, Y, and Z. I'll talk sports with you all day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to go in and yes, I'm watching anime. I'm playing video games. I'm reading comic books. And if you don't care, why are you talking to me then?
Right.
So what's great about our personal back journey and reason why we're doing
Ninja Storm was definitely heat for the week.
Why we're doing this documentary is so Hollywood and media would lead us to believe that if you are a geek or a nerd, you got bullied. Like that is just monolith of what it is, right? And we just shared 3 different experiences that they had some similarities, but none of us got bullied for it.
Right. And I'm not gonna act like there aren't people.
Oh, there's people that is.
Because there are people are jerks out there. We get it, we know for a fact.
But the reason why we're doing this is to show that there's multiple faces of people who have different walks of life and different journeys in this culture, right? So like, think about the stuff that we've already been doing. Like I talked about, we've been hitting conventions, right?
Yeah.
So going into our journey before we get into like specifically what we've been doing for the documentary, like we opened that door for people to have comfortable conversations. We brought people to our headquarters, you know what I'm saying? And when they walk in, they having that moment before we even start the interview or start whatever we're doing to be like, oh wait, is that the power? Yo, is that a talk book? Like we have so much geek stuff in our geek safe haven.
Yeah, like you see the stuff that's behind us. This is just one wall that we have in an entire studio of stuff. So it's a geek safe haven.
Yeah, geek safe haven.
We definitely should have shared a picture showing the studio.
Oh yeah, we could have.
Y'all can see it. Y'all see it.
You'll see it. But like that's the thing, is like, you know what I'm saying? We realize that like there's so many stories, and where there's a lot of people who's in this blurred space who is trying to be the talent in it, where we are talent, but we realize that our role in blurred culture is to report on the culture. So like those people all the people that you've seen so far in Virtuous Con, like we want to be the people that help celebrates them on a higher level. We want to be like, in a sense, like the Breakfast Club. Like when you think about, you know, as an artist, when you are on that grind and you're looking for a place to go to talk about your album, your mixtape, your journey, you want to be on like Sway's Universe or the Breakfast Club or like these big names. But if you were a Blerd, let's say you were a really dope cosplayer, you know what I'm saying? We don't like, where do you go to be celebrated? We want to be that location. And I think that with us going to these conventions, being with the people, taking those photos, like these are some of the things that we've done already that already put us in this position to start doing this documentary and show what we want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like so far what we've done, what are some moments that you guys think that was like, oh yeah, this is helping us with what we want to do?
I mean, mine would be, I mean, of course, going to DreamCon. I mean, like going to DreamCon, which is an all black, pretty much anime, manga, everything convention. Gaming convention.
For sure, gaming.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, that was the first time to experience like all of us in a room, you know, in a place together. And I mean, I feel like that's what you really, those are signs like that you really want to show to the world, because most people don't know what DreamCon is. Like, you know, you're not following this, you know what I'm saying? And you may be cosplaying and you may be doing these things in your own room or with your own small set of friends, but you don't realize that there's an actual convention that's, you know, largely celebrated for the things that you want to do. And I didn't know about it until, you know what I'm saying, we really started doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I feel if I'm just now catching on to it, there's still hundreds of thousands of people under me that's still not aware of it. And being able to have that kind of ability to be like, we need to share this to people. Yeah. Like I think that's where you want to be. Like, we don't want to be gatekeepers, because
we definitely don't.
We want everybody to actually embrace. Yeah, we want everybody to embrace that these are avenues and lanes, and there's successful people being geeks. Like, what I want to change is, like I said, I always want to change the dialogue that, like, as far as black people, that we don't have to just be basketball players and rappers. No, like, you can literally just be a geek. You can really enjoy the things that you enjoy doing and love the things that you want to go do, and literally put that out there in the world, and people will celebrate you for it.
Yep. So did you got?
I know. I think Bacardi summed it up the most. DreamCon was definitely, it showed what the culture was and why I think a documentary like this is needed.
Okay. Yeah. So getting into the documentary. So I want to show you guys first our actual poster for the documentary. It's called the Black Geek Documentary, coined as our love letter to the blurred culture. Didge was actually the one that coined that whole phrase of it. And I think it summed up perfectly. So this is our actual poster of it. And I love it because
it's very minimalist.
Yeah, it's minimalist, but it gets right to the point. When you see it, and it's like, you know what this is going to be about. It's a original documentary. Shout out to Brandon Champ Robinson, who's our director. He is a hometown homie, you know what I'm saying, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But
we can tell everybody we're from Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, we're from Milwaukee.
We're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We're from the Midwest. He's out in California doing
shout out to other Midwest people.
Yeah, he's out in California doing some amazing things in Hollywood right now, and we have him attached on to be our person, right? Didge, are you sharing audio, right?
The
trailer. I want to get to the trailer next.
Yeah, the audio should share in. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So now I'm gonna show y'all our GoFundMe trailer. Before we get into the whole story, this is our first concept trailer. Our GoFundMe to kind of give you an idea on what we're trying to do.
Share. Oh God, we might not be sharing audio.
We're not sharing audio?
No.
Why are we not sharing audio?
Let me see.
Can you stop sharing and then
Please tell me if you can hear this audio.
give us a thumb? Somebody let us know they can hear us. Listen here, man. We are
Can't hear.
All right, stop sharing real quick, and then we're going to share screen again. And does it say share audio at the beginning?
No. Oh, do you know what?
Share sound.
Yeah. Click the box to share sound.
All right, try this again.
Embarking on a journey to take the Blerd culture to places that we've never seen before. We are doing the documentary entitled The Black Geek Documentary, and I'm super excited about it because it is our love letter to the Blerd culture.
Good.
For those who know, man, we've
start
been
it over?
working
Yeah,
in
we're
this
gonna
space.
start it over.
And
Because I do a little intro.
all right. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces, and today I'm addressing the people. Listen here, man. We are embarking on a journey to take the Blerd culture to places that we've never seen before. We are doing the documentary entitled The Black Geek Documentary, and I'm super excited about it because it is our love letter to the Blerd culture. For those who know, man, we've been working in this space, and we've been just trying to just amplify voices, talk about our history and timeline, everything that has been going on in Blerd culture. So with that being said, man, I'd like to introduce you to the first GoFundMe trailer. So this is not the official trailer, but this is the GoFundMe trailer, the call to action, the help that we need from the culture. But this is our trailer to you guys. The first kind of like in-depth insight to the Black Geek documentary.
Get it
Hope you
out.
enjoy.
Bro, I didn't know.
Let him use you.
Oh, okay.
All right, here go the trailer.
Like everybody has the stereotypical on what a black geek is. Are you familiar with the term blerd?
Blerd, no.
Right.
Some people said it came off of Scrubs. Some people said it came off the internet. I don't honestly really know.
Don't you see the skin, the eyebrows, the hair?
Yo, my geeks still rock, you know what I'm saying, Dunks or Jordans or whatever.
Did I do that?
It's exciting. It's like, oh my dog is gonna start barking. It's all right. She's excited about it too.
And same as you said, like a barbershop talk, like we would go into really in-depth conversations about these theories and like, well, what if and how come?
It's not unusual to be
Right, but we talk about anime, video games, comic books, and stuff like that. But when you hear us talk about it, the passion sounds like we arguing Jordan and Bron.
What do you mean? What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Like it sounds like barbershop talk.
Because you don't know the history. Don't mean it ain't happening, You broke that down right there.
But when you see the black geek, you don't see that. You see the socially awkward glasses. Well, this is me. And that's not a lot of us. A lot of us do sound and talk like us. You know what I'm saying?
Because it becomes stereotypical, as if that's where our strength comes from.
I don't know the geek that you talked about before. I know the geek you're talking about right now, though.
It was sort of a call sign so we could find each other on message boards.
Anime gives you life lessons throughout that whole thing. Like, there's not one anime that I know of that doesn't teach you to never give up.
It's just like, I just love seeing us go into the world and go into these different spaces and create things that weren't there before. And then it was like Miles Morales is like the normal, black person in the United States.
That was my first Blerd moment, was seeing Storm on the X-Men cartoon series. And I was like, wow, that's a black woman and she's strong, she's powerful.
That's what I want for us. I want us to be that voice.
So thank you guys, man.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I saw the comments around to it and everything. You gotta stop it, yeah.
Got the beat on.
Right.
Let the beat
So-
ride. Let it breathe.
So as you can see, man, like I said, kind of get into the whole story about the Black Geek documentary and the reason why we wanted to do this. All those clips that you've seen came from conversations and interviews that we had with all of those people. And we realized that this culture still hasn't had anybody document and talk about and share the experience for what we do and how we operate and how we love these things. And we wanted to make sure that one, not only it's one of us that are doing it, but it's not somebody who's coming in who doesn't have a love or a connection to it.
Yeah, you don't want, like I said earlier, you don't want outside actors telling that story, because then it becomes a cash grab, and you want the love to come through authentically. Authenticity is probably the biggest inspiration for the documentary, at least from my end. Is everything I have probably right now, in some way, in some form, has come from my love of Blerd culture.
Yeah.
So being able to showcase that for the masses has been my biggest draw.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Bacardi? Like, inspiration for this doc as we go on this journey. What are some things that where you found the reason why we need to be doing this doc?
Oh, I mean, I talked about it in the last, what I'm saying, but it's, I mean, even for me, it's coming from someone, like I said, from my angle, it's because I am older. I want to tell younger people that you can, as you get older or whatever, like, bro, you can still be on this. Like, you can still enjoy the things that you grew up with. And that pretty much is still part of your character. That's still part of who you are. And if you leave that alone, like, you definitely gonna be a miserable, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be a miserable person. So I mean, that's really for me, the inspiration is to just show that it, like we talk about, it's from, this is all ages, this is all, you know what I'm saying, all sizes, all genders, just knowing that you're welcome in this group.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really
and so I want to kind of get into like the people that are behind this doc. I mean, obviously you guys are getting an introduction to us as Geekset, right? But we also have, like I said, our director, Brandon Champ Robinson, you know what I'm saying, who is also a Blerd, somebody, who's also, he's gonna share the screen. Yeah, who is also a Blerd. He's our director, but he is somebody who is a perfectionist of his craft, right?
Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, shout, you know what I'm saying? He is somebody that, you know, he takes it serious. And that's the one thing that we wanted to make sure is that when we didn't want this just to be like a fly-by-night put together, you know, documentary. Right. We want this to be like a featured film or something that people are excited about. So we got him involved. One of our cinematographers, Von Harris, another homie of ours from Milwaukee. He's actually working for the Dallas Mavericks right now. He helped us get a bulk of our content at DreamCon. He was pivotal to when I tell you, I haven't seen someone work that hard at just going around a convention.
Oh, he got the whole get up too. He had the thing over
if y'all was at DreamCon last year, y'all know we was the ones with the big camera with the guy who got the.
And y'all know how hot Texas heat can get. We were in the middle of summer in that. I was dying. You see this picture when the producers were me in this costume. I was dying in that, and he's in there with this big camera, just lugging it around like it's nothing.
Yep. And then shout out to King. We talked about King a little bit. You know, he's our barber. He's also a big Blerd. He also is somebody who has an interesting story that Bacardi is going to get into when he does his series in his episode.
I'll be interviewing him.
But he's also a cinematographer. The sacrifice and the way that he puts it. The great thing about King is he was one of the last people that we brought on to Geekset. So he has more of an outside view.
Yeah.
And so he's helping us put things in perspective because, you know, for a lot of creators in here and just a lot of people in general, you downplay a lot of the stuff that you do.
Yeah. Right. You just think you're so focused on, I got this done, but what's my next thing? You don't ever stop and enjoy the journey.
Yeah. And King is that person who lets us know, like, no, this is what it needs to be do. This is y'all doing this, but what y'all should be doing is this. Like, he's the outside view, and it's great to have people like that on the team. And then another person, shout out to Trippy Hendricks, aka Doug Walker. He is one of our podcast people under our network, and with the NWO podcast. But he's also a cameraman. He helps us out with our behind the scenes. He helps us out with just
I mean, he's whatever he can be for us at the time, and it's definitely heavily appreciated.
Yeah. So I feel like with that being said, I mean, that brings us to being the person, the people, the right people to do this, because not only are we connected to it on an emotional level, right? But like I said, we are having these conversations with people within the culture, and you know, we made it a point that it's not only celebrity driven, that it is culture specific, right? So we're talking to that vendor, we're talking to that regular con goer, we're talking to, you know, saying that you know, that cosplayer, but we're asking these important questions and everything like that. And so it's one of those things that we try to get into.
Yeah, I mean, even with looking at the crew that we have with us right now working, and I mean, of course, we always going to be looking for more and more people to help put this together. But I think what's really great about the guys that are all with us right now is the fact that we all have the common interest of bringing out. Yeah, with fact, like everyone, like even with like with Doug being Doug wasn't a cameraman, like he's just part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you get the ability to, because of your love of a certain certain fandom, now you're trying new things. You're trying to, because you just want to be involved with the love. So your people are making leaps into learning about videography or learning how to do merch and learning because you're just actually a fan of just one area. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's really great that as we're making this documentary, we're also bringing people in and giving opportunities and working with people to try things new out. So you can actually, so that's a really big thing that I like about what we're doing.
And what we hope to actually accomplish, and there's a couple of things. So like one of the inspirations that I had was, remember when The Harder They Fall came out and like everybody started really embracing westerns and stuff like that.
Like, yo, I don't care if you don't like westerns, you better be going to watch this western.
Right. He was proud of seeing Black folks in that space. I want to create that same thing. If you didn't know anything about there was a documentary about Blerd culture or being a Black geek, that you like, yo, I gotta go see that. And then when you see it, you want to go to the timeline and talk about it. Like, yo, okay, hey, did y'all see this documentary? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to create and recreate that. That's one of the big inspirations. I want people to be proud of this and everything. And that's why, we're asking those questions. Like, if you heard that there was a documentary about Black geek or Blerd culture, what are some things that if it wasn't in the documentary, you're gonna be like, that ain't me. I ain't that doesn't represent me because that didn't cover this, right? We're asking these questions as we're talking to people because, again, the culture, this is not celebrity driven. This is not one person driven. The culture has the biggest voice in this documentary.
Yeah, it's the thing that I really want to get most. I just want people to be proud of it, and I think it goes along the lines of what you were saying in that. Everybody has to go, everybody's speaking, going like, yo, you need to go see this. But beyond that, I want people who they don't realize that they may be a Blerd right now to see it and go, yo, wait a minute. Maybe I am geeky about something, because I've been telling them forever, I don't care who you are, there is something you geek out about.
Oh, absolutely.
If you love sports, you're a sports geek. I get we're just sports fan, but fan is short for fanatic. That means you obsess about it.
Yeah, because if I tell you Kobe is significantly better than LeBron, which I do say that for those sports people that are in here.
I mean, I'd argue it.
But the sports geek that's going to argue it, they're going to be like, nah, because this stats on September 3rd, 2012, like people going to get into the stats.
Right.
And like that's the same thing as a geek.
That's geeky stuff.
That's geeky stuff.
It's so I want people who they've never thought about whether or not they're a geek, a nerd, or whatever, to see this and go, wait a minute, this applies to my life. Sure, it may not be because of a comic book. It may not be because of anime or a video game. Yeah. But that music that I listen to, I'm this way for that. Or, me and my spreadsheets or my technology. Me and whatever I'm doing, me and my fishing. I'm this way about fishing. I might be a little bit of a nerd. Yeah. And that's what I really want someone to come away with.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
No, you can go.
I was going to say, because I mean, this is where we need y'all help tremendously. So we are obviously self-funding this documentary. Now we do have the crowdfunding on the GoFundMe page and everything like that. So we have a lot of costs because we're going convention. We started this at DreamCon. We hit up C2E2 already. We hit up Crunchyroll Expo. We hit up Anime Milwaukee. We're returning to DreamCon. VirtuousCon is here that we're utilizing this conversation as well. We're going to be at C2E2 again next month. And so we're just trying to continue to go. And so there's multiple ways that you guys can support us. Obviously, the GoFundMe page is the big draw. Anything that you can offer there, like that is something that's going to help all those funds get directly funded right into the Black Geek Documentary. But we also have all of our merch sales and things like that is being refunded funded back into it. So I'll let Bacardi talk about it since he's our merch.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like I said, we definitely want some support on the merch. Like I said, you can shop the store. I just actually dropped for February.
We're going to share the page, show you kind of some of the merch designs that we got, but this is, like I said, any purchase.
Yeah, so I actually just dropped a February line. pretty much a spin on the Notorious B.I.G., of course, with our tagline for the geek, do what you love what you do. But you can also go on our website and support. We actually have regular Geekset podcast merch. The Geek line, I've run the fall collection is what I dropped also earlier or last year. So those are still up. There's countless ideas that I've put together. This is my geek now. Like this was something that I've always kind of had a passion for it. When we used to actually do music, everything like, way back in the days. And even the artists that I was working with, I was always trying to get clothes and stuff made that just kind of stand out. So now being able to do it with Geekset, and at a higher level because it's really in my lane. Like it's definitely, so that's definitely a place where you can definitely go support and give me some work to do. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
And then also, like I said, we do have a Patreon. So on our Patreon, patreon.com/Geekset, I mean, there's a couple of things that get offered on our Patreon, right? We're offering, like early access to a lot of our episodes. When we have celebrity guests, you can ask them questions. But one of the biggest things that pertain to this documentary that we're doing on our Patreon is we have a behind the scenes blog where you can really get a chance to view and see our story. You can really get a chance to check out the things that we're doing.
Questions.
We're getting some questions through. I love it. And you can really get invested into it, right? Another place that has all of those links and everything, especially with the GoFundMe and everything, is on our we have a website for the documentary called the Black Geek Documentary.com. It actually has all of the story, but also it has the press. One of the things that we forgot to mention is we announced that we were doing this in Forbes magazine.
Oh yeah, we were in Forbes.
We was in Forbes. We were in Forbes, and we got to talk about Blerd culture and what we're doing. And one of the things that we talked about was the documentary and everything like that. But those are the financial ways that you can support us. If you can't support us financially, just to support
most importantly, just social media for me.
Social media. Follow the, follow Geekset. Follow Geekset. Use the hashtag Black Geek Documentary. Tell people about it. Share the trailer, because the more that we get people excited about it, the more support that we can get from it. Right. So it's just continue to check that out and everything like that. And yeah, man, the blackgeekdocumentary.com. This is our love letter to the Blerd culture. And we are so excited. We went over the first few footage.
And it's gonna be fun.
Oh
it's gonna be fun. The official trailer is gonna be great.
Go ahead. I want to make sure keep some of these questions coming. I know we're gonna start answering
questions now.
I'm ready. I was gonna say the official trailer is gonna be.
The official trailer is coming. Most likely it's gonna be premiered at a convention. Follow us for more information on where we're going to do it, because we don't know when we're going to premiere it yet. We're still working on that. But once we get it, we're going to be sharing that on our social medias, telling you when we're going to premiere the actual trailer for it. Just know that it is being worked upon.
Yes.
So Didge, you're close to it.
You're the question man.
Start diving into some of these questions. The first one is from an anonymous attendee. Wish we could have got your name, but will this documentary be inclusive of Black women and the Black LGBT folks?
Yes.
Unequivocally, yes.
So one of the big questions that we started asking within the documentary questions is, what are some things within Blerd culture that we need to either fix, eliminate, or do better at? And specifically, the reason why I asked that question is, again, we go to these cons, we see how Black women is treated, we see how the LGBTQ plus community is treated. Obviously, Black men, we get treated away as well, but it's just like understanding the different marginalized groups within this culture. And that's the reason why we wanted to make sure, we don't want to just, when you think about a documentary, we don't want to just have this is just the greatness. This is just the greatness. We got to be responsible. We got to talk about what we need to fix.
That's all in reporting on a culture. You have to talk about the ways that a culture can get better.
I mean, and really, like I said, that's a really touchy subject, especially when it comes. I'm a big cosplayer, so when it comes to cosplay and gender bending cosplays and things that I know people who cosplay, and you do get a lot of, especially in women who do gender bend, or just we know how the Hinata isn't Black. You know what I'm saying? So
to be honest, in my personal experience, I feel like you see that more for Black women cosplayers.
Of course.
Like they feel more emboldened to come to Black women cosplayers to say about that. So, and going along the lines of just wanting to celebrate everybody in the culture, you can't celebrate everybody Black if you don't celebrate Black women or Black LGBT. You can't.
Yep.
Because then you're not celebrating everybody.
So again, unequivocally, yes, they we will make sure that there's that both Black women and the LGBTQ plus community has a voice. They have significant coverage, and we just talk about that experience. Like, we're definitely bringing that up there.
No.
Second one is from another anonymous attendee. Where can you see?
Who y'all is?
After that, we get some names. You know,
Yeah.
up there. Where can we see the documentary? The documentary is not out yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are planning on releasing it everywhere possible.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely trying to get it picked up. I'm trying to let y'all see it on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Like,
listen, we are actively pitching it. Like, what you guys seen, we have a whole pitch deck and everything like that. That trailer, we are actively pitching it to, I guess, Hollywood.
Yeah,
Like,
but it will come out regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if we feel like
we'll let
no one's messing, no one's really dealing with us, then we gonna just deal it out ourselves. So you definitely will see it.
There are people who we have relationships with that I think that we could make it work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
After that, Shantae Smith.
Hey, Shantae.
Hey, Shantae.
And my apologies also, by the way, if I butchered that name. What if it's not Shantae?
I mean, it got the accent. It's on the E. It's definitely a Shantae.
But again, just to reaffirm, yes, there will be space in this documentary. The question was, is there space in this documentary for queer by POC?
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Just
wanted to make sure that we do, I guess, resolutely affirm that yes, there will be.
Yeah.
Next question is from Whitney J. Can you all speak on what kind of community you all have been able to build with other Blerds through your work?
So
this is a fun question.
This is a fun question. I know we're wrapping up, so I'm gonna keep my answer short.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The community has been dope. Like, and the metaphor that I have been using to kind of get people to see it is at the end of Black Panther, the first one, when that kid sees T'Challa, and you're like, yo, who are you? And he tells him like who he is, and you can see visually that kid's mind opening up to what this world is, right? And how many people with this culture of Wakanda, right? That's the exact same feeling, because it's like, we all know, and you guys are watching, when you are debating or having that conversation with your friends about anything in nerd culture, it gets very passionate. Now, it's not disrespectful, it's just passionate. It's like you yelling, right? And so being able to go to things like DreamCon and seeing just all Black people, and then we're doing kickbacks, we're seeing different walks of people. We're seeing people dripped out in jewels. We're seeing people, cosplaying. Like, we're seeing this whole thing. Like, these communities have been so dope. And then also us just being in, like I said, all these other panels. We're just experiencing it and being in. So that's been
been great. And then even in terms of just building, there are so many people that we've all both individually met and as a collective have met that have been so dope. Like,
Like being able to sit down with the Plastic Cup Boys and having geek conversations, Kev on stage, hear more. I mean, like, and I think what's really great is the fact that what I enjoy about how we are placing ourselves in the community is that because we are strongly trying to bring light to this community, people want to embrace us.
Yeah,
because people want to talk to us, people want to share their side with us, and it creates a stronger and bigger community because everybody wants to bring that effort, like bring that kind of bit. Like I said, having Kevin station to here and going through our studio and like grabbing the Talk Boy and realize they haven't seen it in years, but it's like because it's still around. Like we're still putting that in front of you because it doesn't have to go away.
But even outside of that, with some of the people who we've gotten a chance to who also are other creators that we've gotten a chance to work with.
Like, the community.
Like,
I mean, where's Jen? I mean,
where's Jen?
Where's Jen podcast? I mean, Twitter Spaces.
I podcast with the GVN crew. There are so many different things, so many different people that you meet just being in this community, and it's been so much fun.
Yep. All right. And then what's the last question?
Actually, there's one that's in the general comments, but the question before that, from Rod Faulkner. will the disabled Blerd community be included? That community always gets overlooked in terms of representation.
All right, so a moment of honesty is that we haven't reached out to anybody in regards into that community. However, we are opening.
We are definitely
welcoming.
I mean, I feel like
I didn't even know that was like a community who felt neglected, and now I feel bad for not.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like just even also in the truth, like I in most of the conventions we've been to, we haven't. Like, I don't think that we would never like not interview someone. Like,
we definitely wouldn't include anybody.
Like, yeah, we wouldn't. So I mean, yeah, if there's people that are actually making a big splash, and we would definitely want to talk to them.
Now I want to.
Hey, who said that?
Ron Faulkner. Thank you. That is something.
Ron Faulkner, man. Thank you, bro.
Like I said, we never want to actively exclude anybody.
Yeah.
And we always just. Honestly, when we're at conventions, we just look at, okay, this is a dope cosplay.
Yeah.
Let's talk to them. So now I think to your point, we definitely want to make sure that you're being cognizantly aware.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who we're making sure we talk with.
All right, cool.
And then our final question that we have that's in the main chat from William Brown. What are your thoughts as a Blerd about AI in the creative industry?
Ooh. As a Blerd, I think it's came at a bad time because we as and I'm not taking away from every creative, but for the Black creative, we are in our spark now.
Yes, we are.
And AI is being very disruptive in that space.
Yeah, because I like I said, AI, what it did was AI is dope.
Yeah,
right?
it is dope.
It is dope. But
dope.
Again, once you realize what it's doing and knowing that the Black creators are now just finally getting their love within like the past 4 or 5 years, and it's like, no, we can't X this out. We got to continue to amplify it. That's the disheartening.
Like
thing.
it's a really AI is a really good thing to have. It's fun, but when you realize the business side of it that can come from AI, that takes a lot of money out of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
AI is really. Like again, you're right. It's dope, but AI is really scary because of some of the implications.
Yeah.
Some of the things that AI is doing to learn, like if we're talking about a tool like Midjourney or like Lenza, how they got their algorithm to be able to do that, is really kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Not even kind of, just full on messed up. And at the same time, if you're looking at those AI tools, like I don't know if you guys saw the thing where they used AI to basically edit the movie.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So situations like that, or where they're talking about somebody used AI as a fan just to get deceased people's voices back to actors. I saw it most recently with the Gotham Knights game. They redubbed that because they didn't like whoever the voice actor was.
Oh wow.
For the Gotham Knights game. And it's stuff like that where it's like, that's a slippery slope.
That's a slippery slope.
So, I mean, that's what I said. Like when you use it more in business applications, you're just taking away from talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's why I like it, and that's why I said I don't want to. I know we're talking a lot about the Black creative, but just in general, AI will disrupt the creative industry as a whole.
So a couple of things too, because I forgot to mention like through our journey, and this is where we really need y'all support to also help out in regards to that. So. And when we talk about the communities and the people that we touch, one of the reasons why we started our Blerds On campaign. So if you see us use hashtags, we started at Blerds in Forbes, right? Because when we were in Forbes, there was a lot of Black creators. I'm talking about animators, people who are in this nerd community, but they never used the term Blerd. Now we did not create this word, but we was the first people on Forbes using Blerds, right? So we started Blerds in Forbes, and then the Black Wall Street Times covered us. And we was one of the first people in there with Blerd. So we did, what I'm saying? We started using that Blerds On. And so every time that we tap into an industry or a place, so I'm doing voice work for Watch Mojo now. And I started Blerds On Watch Mojo. And
as the first, remember, you're the first Black, the first Black voice actor for Watch Mojo. You got to say it.
Yep. First, and then we are now doing exclusive content for Sway's Universe. And we got Blerds On Sway's Universe.
Yes.
So pretty much what we also need to show this culture, because we're talking about this culture everywhere we get a chance to, is we need y'all to pull up. We need y'all to go to Sway's Universe YouTube page, and when you see our videos, man, our emoji is the eagle emoji. Drop some eagle emojis in there. Let them people know that we're there. When you see me on Watch Mojo, drop some eagle emojis. When we dropping stuff on our page, drop some eagle emojis. Get in the chats, because we need to show people that this culture is here. It's not just a young culture, because Blerd culture has been existing for a while. And it's one of those things that we literally have a culture of, if you know, you know. Because if you don't know about the culture, you don't know how vast it is. But if you know about the culture, you're like, yo, we everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that is that. Just to kind of, again, geeksetpodcast.com is our website. At Geekset Podcast everywhere on any social media, and within the bio page in that, it has our individual social media pages. Follow us there. YouTube.com/Geekset Podcast is where we drop majority of our content. But we're available on all podcast platforms. So definitely tap in, listen. We do a bi-weekly podcast, and we just drop random content throughout the week and everything like that. And we have so much that we're a part of.
I mean, one-on-one with Deuces.
One-on-one with Deuces, yeah, our interview series. So a lot of those interviews with those celebrities and everything that you've seen, that is our interview series and everything. The Do What You Love campaign. We got our rewatch series. It started on our page, so you can watch some of those old ones. But again, we're on Sway's Universe. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys, man. This has been really dope.
Thank you. If you're looking for more information specifically on the documentary, please go to the blackgeekdocumentary.com. The social for the Black Geek Documentary. You'll see it on the Geekset podcast socials as well. But that page is specific strictly to the documentary.
Strictly, yep. And then man, I think we got to wrap it up. So
yeah, I think we got to wrap it. Do we have any more last questions?
Last minute questions. We don't have any listed right now, but
okay, I think we're.
But make sure y'all stick around. Go to the vendor page. The vendor alley, I think that's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, make sure you're still going. I hope you guys are still going around.
Shout out to the Blerd girl. I got to give her a shout out. She was the one that, reached out to me and everything. And she's been amazing. She has changed my way of thinking so much. Her panel was before this one. And so if y'all haven't tapped in with her, tap in with her more. She is an amazing person, and continue to support Virtuous Con. Like, every year we need this to grow. This has been an amazing experience, and I want to thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys around.
So I don't know. Y'all about to see us be real